Hey, hi, and hello, Madding Pyro here. Day 5 of my keto adventure. I told you guys I was going to take you out and show you a little bit about where we live. The bay's a little on the angry side. This is, I believe this is the Chester River that we're actually looking at. And you can see the white caps out there. They're pretty potent today. It's a little windy, a little stormy. It's not raining right now. That's why we're out and about. I got Zane working camera for me. Say hi, Zane.
Hi.
And I got his girlfriend in the back, so if you happen to see her, just say hi. Other than that, we are at one of my spots that I go to and just watch the bay and watch the birds. It's really pretty here in the summertime when it's not stormy and nasty like it is today. You guys are going to have to bear with me. I am not editing this video because, once again, I haven't learned the editing software yet. So just kind of bear with me. A couple things I want to address before we start driving, and actually I'll probably start driving during it. I want to thank everybody who's supporting me. I want to thank everybody who's liked and subscribed to my page. Keep them coming. Keep the subscriptions coming. Keep the likes coming. Keep ringing that bell. The more once you ring the bell, you'll get notified every time I post a new video, which will be daily for the next 600, wishful thinking, 365 days. Other than that, there was let's just call them a troll that was making some derogatory comments. You know what? You don't like my channel, you don't like what I'm doing, you don't like me, don't watch it. It's that simple. It's no skin off my nose. If you sit there and you call me names and you say that I'm fat, you know what? I know I'm fat. That's why I'm doing this. I'm doing this to change my lifestyle, to change my weight. So, you know, you're not hurting anybody's feelings. I'm not going to feed into it. I'm not going to get mad and go off. Just go away. It's that simple. Don't like it, don't watch. So, we're going to go to the next spot where I enjoy fishing at, and during the ride I'll, be talking and everything, but I will be pointing out some landmarks and everything, and what road we're on and where we're at. So, if the images are kind of shaky or something like that, we're doing this handheld. We don't have a game rule. We don't have anything like that yet. And I'm shooting this on like a $200 Sony. What is it? What camera is that? It's a Sony. It's like a $200 Sony. It's like 2 years old. So
Cybershot.
Oh, Cybershot. That's like 2 years old. So you got to give me a little bit of credit here. So, yep. Go ahead and take a gander. It's pretty out there. It's a little rough out there today, but it's pretty. And we're gonna ride. Oh. This is just one of the little back streets I've discovered since we've lived here. We've lived up here now for almost 5 years. Moved from Western Maryland, and I absolutely love it here. It's got everything that I want. Fishing and hunting, even though I don't really hunt that much. I do fish a lot, which you guys will see over the summer. It'll be like every other night. My vlog will be from some dock somewhere, some pier, some inlet, going, hey, I just caught this, hey, I just caught that. And we'll do some catch, clean, and cooks, just because I'm like that. Tonight you're actually going to get 2 videos from me. One video is the Romp About Town video. That's what I'm going to call this, I think. I'm pretty sure, actually. And everybody, this is Route 50. We're actually heading towards Annapolis on the eastern shore side. Not the other lanes that we'll be going to get back to my home is towards Ocean City, Maryland. So if you've ever gone to Ocean City, like coming from Annapolis, you've driven this road. Route 50 is a very busy freeway. the big Chesapeake Bay Bridge will go across. We're not actually going to be able to see that today, I don't think. But it's on this road. If you keep driving straight down, you'll run right across it. You have to. So what we're doing is kind of, like I said, I'm just riding around town showing you guys the sights and showing you a couple landmarks, and I'm going to keep it short.
The sky's really pretty today.
It is. For as stormy as it's been today, it's been raining like mad today. I mean, it's off and on, big storms, big wave surges, wind. It's a little chilly out. It's about 44 degrees out here right now. And right now we're going over the Kent Narrows area. If you know anything about this area, Kent Narrows is a big thing here. And where I'm going is actually to the Narrows, to what the area is named after. This is the Kent Narrows Route 50 bridge we're crossing. As I am panning out over to your right, that is actually Kent Narrows. The small body of water is the Narrows, and the big body of water is the Chesapeake Bay, aka the Chester River. The Chester River flows down to where you can see it open up on the sides there and actually goes into the bay proper. So we are almost about ready to get off 50 here. This is Kent Narrows West, evidently. I didn't know it was called West, but exit 41 off of Route 50. Like I said, it's a beautiful area. Right now it's kind of, I don't want to say desolate because obviously it's not, but it is a lot less traffic than normal due to it's not tourist season, it's not summertime. If you guys do decide to come up during the summer, it's a lot more busy than it is right now. There's cars everywhere, there's people everywhere, people doing whatever they do, and boats. So our big claim to fame up here is fishing and crabbing, oystering. So you'll see a lot of big boats like yachts and stuff like this, houseboats, yachts, cuddy cabins, and then you'll see a lot of work boats as well. Water, yay! We've got a lot of marshland around us that is an excellent habitat for crabs. So our crabs are the Maryland crab, the crab that everybody goes after. That's where we live. We live in Crab Central. So the majority of the Maryland crabs come out of the Chesapeake Bay, and this is where we're at. This down here is the Chesapeake Heritage Center. It's run by, I believe, the Division of State Parks or something along those lines. It is state-run, state-funded. This is one of my favorite fishing spots. That doesn't mean come down here and crowd me out. But if you look, the water here, you've got a very small bottleneck that comes in out of the Chesapeake Bay, or well, the Chester River anyway, and it bottlenecks in through this area. That bottleneck causes this area to be excellent fishing. All the fish flood in through here because the current flows this way when the tide's coming in and flows that way as the tide's going out, or vice versa. I'm not sure which is which. I think it's in this way, out that way. But when that happens, all the fish follow that tide and they come right through this little Narrows. Well, if you sit right on the edge here, there's this little fishing dock over there, and if you sit right on the edge here and cast out, rockfish, catfish, stingrays, crabs, needlefish, perch, spot, everything comes right through this area.
Sure.
So it makes for wonderful fishing, especially night fishing. That's my favorite time to go. You guys will learn that. So this is the Chesapeake Heritage Center. You can go in there for free. They have a tower you can go up and get a scan of the whole area. It's really nice. They have a nature trail that goes back, I believe, a little over a mile back to the backside of this little peninsula here. which means you guys can go out there. There's a little beach and stuff like that.
The trail actually attaches to the trail that goes along the
Yeah,
entire island.
they just attached it to the Cross Island Trail not long ago. The Cross Island Trail goes from basically one end of Kent Island all the way to the other end of Kent Island, which ends up in Stevensville. We actually live in Graysonville, and it hasn't extended quite to there yet, but it's very close. So that's the Heritage Center. You go in there, they'll give you a history of the area, a history on crabbing, oystering, the people that founded the area, basic history. They got a little wildlife set up in there. It's really cute. One day, I'll probably take you guys through there, just not today. It's a little cold and a little windy. I just don't want to do it. That I don't even know if they're open right now because it's off season. But yeah, so this is where I go to fish a lot. Now I'm going to take you one other place, and it's one more spot that I enjoy fishing at. And this is kind of one of my go-tos. And Zane will keep filming, and we'll point out some other stuff. And this is Piney Narrows Yacht Haven right here. It's a place that people park their boats. They're rentable slips, basically. So if you have a boat and you're wanting to be in the area, check here. They got good prices, and it's a nice place.
Look at that yacht they got pulled up.
Oh, they've got some of these boats, guys. Some of these boats that I've seen. First off, I love boating. I do not own a boat right now, but I do love to boat. Some of these boats I could live on with no problems, even being handicapped and in a wheelchair. You can live on some of these boats like that. Goal for when I actually grow up one day is to own a livable boat. I mean, I would love to live on a boat and just be able to go around from like port to port or marina to marina, and it'd be absolutely a blast. Unfortunately, I don't have the several hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars or however much it costs to get a boat that I can live on like that, let alone pay for slips and fuel and everything else. It would be a very expensive endeavor. But I'm not saying it wouldn't be fun. Eventually, maybe one day, it might happen. I don't want to have this van like crush my car, so we're going to wait. And there's a couple other cars coming off of 50. It is treacherous sometimes to drive around here. We live on the Eastern Shore in Maryland, and it is a heavily vacation spot. Not just where we live, but it's also a throughway to get to Ocean City, Maryland, which I'll take you guys there eventually too. We go up there and fish clam. That's where Amy Clam's at, and that's her big thing. This is the county wharf down here. You'll see a lot of the same style boat. That is what they call a Chesapeake Bay flatboat or workboat. They'll cut down other boats to make these boats, and that's what people clam and crab, or they razor clam, they crab, they oyster off of those boats. So that's where your seafood comes from, guys. Support your watermen. If you enjoy seafood, if you enjoy blue crabs, if you enjoy oysters, support your watermen. They're having a hard time. They don't make as much money as you would think they would make.
It's difficult down on the water too.
And it's hard work. I've got several friends of mine that are commercial crabbers and clammers, and what you're paying for in the store is helping provide pay for them. So keep in mind, it is a trickle down when it comes to the fisheries, and anywhere. I mean, yeah, absolutely anywhere. So support your watermen.
That's what I'm doing this summer.
Yeah, but Zane is now a greenhorn, or an intern basically, on a crab boat to learn how to crab correctly and become a waterman. So every time you eat a blue crab, think of him. It may come off of his boat, because they all get sold to the commercial crabberies or crab places, and then the commercial crab places sell them off to everybody. So you might want to consider that too. We're actually pulling into Chester, Maryland right now. Chester is kind of a hop town in Kent Island. It's a little strip of a town, and it's cute, but this is where all of our main businesses are, all of our main restaurants, stuff like that. We've got like Safeway, grocery store, Big Lots, Red Apple Plaza that has all that kind of stuff in it. What else do we have right here, Zane? There's just a bunch of businesses up through here. It is residential as well, but majority businesses. And some old farms. I mean, you'll see, as you can see, the big farms here. These guys produce corn, soybeans. They produce tomatoes, watermelons, anything, farm related. I mean, you're growing plants. But I'll tell you, some of the best sweet corn I've ever had in my entire life, and I know I can't eat it now because of being on keto, but some of the best sweet corn I've ever had has come out of this field right here.
There's usually a fresh produce stand right there as well.
Oh yeah, Lowry's. They the best sweet corn in the area. Period. Freshest. Oh my God, is it good? They pick it that morning, and they only pick enough to sell for the day. So once they sell it out, that's it. There is no more until the next day, and it is phenomenal. I mean, when you open up and shuck at your corn, and the water's still in the corn from the dew from the morning, that's fresh. You don't get that in any supermarket I've ever been to. Now we're going to turn here and go down what's called Dominion Road. Dominion Road takes you back to, well, it's still Bay. All this is still Bay living. We're actually on Kent Island proper now. And this whole area is all residential. It's a fairly old area. A lot of the locals that have lived here all their lives, their families are the ones that founded this area. I mean, people just don't move from here. It's such a great place to live. We absolutely love it. It is growing very, very rapidly, but it is still kind of small town living. It's just super nice. There are houses for rent up here. There are apartments for rent and stuff like that. They are kind of pricey, I'll warn you, but it's still it's a way of life up here. It's not the city, but it's not the country. You're close enough to the city. I mean, I'm 45 minutes.
It's suburbs.
Yeah, well, it's kind of suburbs. It's we're 45 minutes to an hour outside of Washington D.C., and that's downtown Washington D.C. We are about 45 minutes to an hour away from Baltimore, where I'm at, and it's very centrally located to anything that you need or want, but far enough away you don't have to deal with any of the crap of the city. And that's why people like it here. And you see people walking down the street. I mean, that's what they do. That'll be me here hopefully in 6 months. Taking walks down the road again. I can't wait. Again, big farm fields. I mean, on both sides of us, there's nothing but acreage of fields. That to my left, pan over, Zane, that's where we just came from. That's all Chester right through there. And we're actually heading down to another place called Good Hands Creek. Now, this is one of those kind of small local boat launch areas. I absolutely love to fish here.
Where I got my first boat.
This is where Zane got his first little dinghy. I can't even call it a boat. It's about 6 foot long now. It is a boat proper. It's fiberglass, but it's tiny. We will be putting it in the water this year a little bit for him to be able to go and do his thing.
Use my 20 foot instead.
Down here is the boat launch, and we'll actually come down here and I'll show you here for a second where we fish and everything else. This place is absolutely beautiful. This is one of my favorite holes here. We come down here and I will sit literally right where I'm parking, and we fish right off here. Now, I'm not saying we catch big fish here. Every now and again we'll get lucky and we'll catch a big fish, majority of the time, it's perch, catfish, eels. Once in a while, we'll get a crab or 10, you know, or sometimes we'll find some oysters. There is an oyster bed out there, but it's hard to get to. You got to wait for the tide to get really, really low. People do come up here and launch their boats. So not so much at night, but during the day, it's pretty busy. Of course, farm field. You can see how close we actually are to the water. I'm on the water all the time. I mean, the entire time we've been here, I've been 3 minutes away from my house, really. This is the farthest point that we're going to go today. So I thought you guys would get a kick out of seeing where we live and where we're at, and that was the point of this video. And you're getting the 2 for tonight. So I'm going to cook my dinner and show you what I'm doing and how I'm doing it, and that way you guys might be able to get a kick out of that. But for right now, I'm going to have to say, get healthy, get happy, and I will see you here in a bit.